Are you planning to get married in 2020? Are you worried that coronavirus will ruin your wedding? Look no further. I have some tips that will hopefully help you feel a little bit more positive during this time. First and foremost, I would suggest to reschedule now. Reschedule if your wedding is coming up in the next few months. So currently we're in April. So if you have your wedding in April or May, I would say to reschedule, just because things aren't looking like it's going to change that drastically so soon. Hopefully things will start to improve sooner rather than later, and hopefully we'd be able to, maybe the restrictions will lessen up a little bit more. If you are going to reschedule and you still want to get married in 2020, then speak to your photographers, your caterer, florist, any big vendors that will be having a big impact on your day, because many other people just like you will be rescheduling, so it's going to be very busy, maybe towards autumn, winter. Hopefully by then corona would have definitely settled down. So yeah, a lot of people will be rebooking for October, November, December, and also 2021. So if you are going to plan for 2021, don't delay just because it's next year, because there's already going to be people that have booked weddings for next year, and then you're going to be thrown into that mix with a lot of other people that will be rescheduling their wedding. Also bear in mind, if you definitely want to keep your wedding in 2020, you may have to sacrifice your Saturday wedding. If you've chosen a Saturday or even a Friday, those are peak days. So throughout the rest of the year, those are going to be booked up very quickly. Your venue is going to be booked up, and your photographer, things like these. So you may have to sacrifice that Saturday for maybe a Monday or another day through the week. Sometimes that could mean you have a cheaper deal. So I think people will understand that you've had to reschedule, and yeah, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. Another thing to keep in mind, if you are gonna reschedule for 2021, definitely double check that your contract will stay the same, although the date is changing, just because many vendors do up their prices yearly. So you want to definitely check that the price will remain the same, or if it doesn't, then you want to know at least that your budget's going to be changing. Please, 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 before you rebook or reschedule the date with the venue, definitely speak to your photographer, your caterer, all the main vendors, because you might be able to rebook your venue, but then that date your photographer might be booked up, might have already had a wedding on that day, and now you've already paid for the venue. So definitely speak to your photographer, your florist, caterer, all the main people that you definitely want on your day. Speak to them before you confirm anything with the venue, because once you put a deposit down for the venue, you don't really want to mess around with trying to cancel it, because most times you're not going to get the deposit back. So definitely double check with that, and that also goes for the other vendors as well. So your photographer, your caterer, blah blah blah. Most times the deposit is unrefundable, depending on what the contract is saying. So that leads me on to the next point, which is check your contracts now. Make sure you know exactly what's in the contract, what you're entitled to, things like that. And so for example, for me, I'm actually getting married in October, hopefully if all goes well. So I've already looked at my contract again. And so everyone's contract is different, but sometimes, for example, my venue, they say if I cancel 2 months before the date, then I have to pay everything. I have to give them everything. So, but if they cancel because of Corona, then I get everything back, including the deposit. So yeah, everyone's contract's going to be different. So definitely make sure that you check what the contract says, because your money is at risk here. So you want to definitely have that all cleared up. Hold off sending out invitations if you haven't done already, mainly because you don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks or months. So say your wedding is in August, you don't know if you may have to reschedule later down the line. So what I did is we just sent out save the dates. So you can make it for free on like Canva. So I've actually had my fiance's sister, she like designed it for us, but you can also use the website Canva. I'll link it in the description, where you can just put a picture of you and your significant other and have the date on it, save the date, simple as that, send it out. So that's good because it didn't cost anything, it just cost time. And also if you need to change the date, you can. So because the thing with invites, especially if you've got printouts and you're going to be posting it, that costs money, that all adds up. So those invites, if you've already printed out loads of invites with a certain date and then eventually you might have to change the date, then you've just wasted a lot of money and time. So definitely maybe just hold off sending out the invites until you know for sure that things are looking up, the wedding will probably go through. A really good way to update people as well on what's happening with your wedding is if you have a wedding website, and then on there you can just post if there's a new date been planned, or just to say it's been cancelled, or different things like that. You can just update people from that website and then they can all see it at the same time. I'll try to find some, I think one is called Bridebook, I'm not sure, I'll have a look. I'll put in the description bar below some ideas of some websites that do wedding websites, and then that would be really good to use. Also remember, family that might be coming from abroad, family or friends coming from abroad, if the wedding is postponed, so say you're meant to be getting married in May and you postpone it to August or October or whatever, so those family and friends will probably not be able to come. So they might not be able to come because flights aren't happening, they won't be allowed out of their country, they're not allowed in this country, things like that. And also just because the airline might not refund them and it costs a lot of money to book another flight, and maybe they might not even be able to get a flight in time, things like that. So if you did postpone it to the year after, then if you really want those friends and family coming from abroad, then that will give them a chance to actually be able to reschedule and sort their affairs out as well. Another alternative that I know a lot of people are doing is having a smaller wedding. So maybe just the immediate family, maybe just you two getting married, and then afterwards you have a little dinner with immediate family. I know at the moment we're on lockdown, so we can't really leave our house unless it's urgent, and we can't have loads of people over at our house. So you might just have to get married and then have, when the whole situation lightens up, then you can have like a dinner with family and close friends. And then people have done it so they would have a big 1-year anniversary party in replacement of just one big wedding. So that is a what's the word? I don't know. That's a possibility. You could do that. Yeah, so you can always like wear the wedding dress on the day that you officially get married, and then also it's another excuse to wear it again, like in a year's time, for the big party, so everyone can see it and appreciate it. So that's a what is the word that I'm looking for? Oh my days. I don't know what the word is. So we're just gonna move on. Yeah, so a few positives for that is that you can save more money and you have more time to plan. So maybe if things were a little bit tight for you this year, and also because not many people are able to work, or the whole working situation is changed now, so it might give you some more time to actually save, and then you can have a really good party next year rather than kind of rushing it and half doing it this year. And I fully understand that it's a very stressful time, because we just don't know what's going to happen, and you put so much effort and time to plan this wedding, and now you don't even know if it's actually going to happen, or it might happen slightly different to what you had hoped. So I fully can relate with that. As I've said, I'm meant to be getting married in October. I know that's a bit further down the line than the ones, like people who are getting married this month, next month, June, whatever. I know it's a lot more stressful for you because it's very imminent. But yeah, definitely remember as well that there are so many other people in the same situation as you, and we're kind of all going through it together. So, and also think about the vendors, they've also going through it as well because they have no work now. The photographers, I'm also a wedding photographer, which you might have seen from my other video. So all of the weddings that I had planned to do, not all of them, the ones coming up in like the next couple months, they've already been postponed to September. So that should be interesting because I might have a bunch of weddings to do in like 2 months. But yeah, definitely think of the positives, that hopefully your health is well. I know many people have suffered from this virus and it's increasingly just getting worse. So hopefully it will start to calm down soon, and the best things that we can do is to stay at home and keep washing our hands, and hopefully this will all go soon. And social distancing. I know it's hard, I know the sun's out, it's nice weather, but stay at home and jog in your garden. If you don't have your garden, go to the local park, and only for an hour. And make sure you wash your hands when you get home. So that's all I have to say. So I really hope that this video has given you a little bit more of a positive outlook in this horrible situation, and I really hope that your weddings and future plans go well. And even if you don't get your wedding on the date that you wanted, or it might be slightly different, just remember that you have married your best friend, your favourite person in this world. So it's going to be an amazing day regardless. You're going to be so happy that you finally got married. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is why I need to write things down. I don't know what I'm saying. What am I saying? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.